Hey everyone, I'm back. Hopefully this message is gonna be short. Um, as always, have an amazing day. But I'm gonna get straight into it. So, this morning I was thinking about babies, right? And I was thinking about like our personalities and stuff. It was like brief. So I'm gonna help give y'all an idea of how to understand the spirit that's inside of your child as a baby, and then it was it's like you're the first book that the child reads. Okay, you're technically the first book the child reads, and what happens is when you read a book, right? The first book you read can kind of give you a direction of how your personality gonna go. Okay, and then from there the next book and the next book after that kind of programs the personality. So you're the first book. So that means when a child is born, when a baby is born at the beginning, when a baby is born, your spirit is the first spirit it attaches to. So it can give you an idea of what your spirit has going on with you. And because of that, the child reads your spirit and it start reflecting it. And you're going to see parts of it. That's why when a baby is born, you're there to help heal the baby, because the baby represents you at the same time. You're healing your child wounds, however you want to call it. And so your baby kind of give you an idea what's going on with you if you pay attention. Okay, so this is how you can tell what's behind the mask. All right. Hold on a second. Give me a second, y'all. Spirit talking to me. All right. So this is what's going on. So you know. Hold on. One more second. Okay. So what's going on is this right now. I'm gonna talk about this, but then I hear somebody saying, "Don't say this part yet. Don't say that part yet. Hold some information, because these people can try to take what you say, and you don't give them too much information out." Okay, this is the thing. I'm gonna always be my authentic self. And I'm expressing what's going on, okay? Because I can hear energies talking to me. And okay, I know what it is. What it is this. There is a scientist that's trying to tap into my energy, and I can feel something. They trying to figure something out, but they want the information for themselves, and that ain't how it goes, okay? That's not how I operate. If I decide, my spirit decide to give you something, I'm going to give it to you directly. But don't sit back and feel like, let me take that one, let me do this, let me do that. What's meant for you is what's meant for you. Y'all have all the opportunities in the world to sit back and have all this knowledge that I'm providing. Y'all had it within yourselves. That's why I'm at the message I'm at now. You had an opportunity. You can't get mad at me, because now I'm providing information you should have figured out a long time ago. So just because I'm in my situation, that ain't going to stop me from being where I need to go at in life. I'm already at the winning table, and I'm already creating another one for the next person to get there. That's how it goes, because I know in this position, I'm going to be in this position for a very, very long time. But I'm also creating tables for other people to have the same opportunity, so they know how to build their own world. That's how I operate. I ain't got time for slackers. Okay, I don't have time for people that want to get little nuggets on the side for themselves, but then don't want to provide a nugget for someone else. So I'm going to tell y'all this right now. One thing about me is this. Am I afraid that somebody else can come above me? No. Because if I have the mindset that I have and the love in my heart that I have, that means I'm going to create more people with that same mindset and love. And then they're going to go and be greater than me. That's the game plan. That's where I'm at. I want to create and help bless someone that is a strong go-getter, that knows what their calling and their purpose is, so that one day they can take my role and keep it pushing, and then do the same for the next, because you're not afraid of someone becoming before you, because you know you're becoming a teacher and you just sending out lessons. And that's what generational wealth is. Okay? Not about the money, because at the end of the day, guess what? When you line yourself up with the right sources, you ain't got to pay for anything, because all the money going to come to you regardless. So that's the love you receive, because you have love in your heart. And so you don't have to work so hard, because you did all the hard work at the beginning, and life get easier. So anyone that's in my energy feeling like, oh, why you don't say that information from me? The information is inside of you. It's been inside of you. Okay? But apparently no one in the world went that deep enough to be able to put this information out there, or they held on process. So now I'm filling the gaps of what y'all try to make sure that other folks wouldn't recognize. So back to my message. Okay. Hold on. Let me calm my energy down, because I turned darker on that one. All right. Back to my message. Babies, books. You are the first book, because a baby cannot read. So they're reading you. And the child represent what's going on the inside of you. So if you have a child that cries a lot, you're crying. It's reflecting. It's a mirror. It's showing you what you're doing. You're crying. It don't matter if you're like, oh my God, that's what they call like PTSD or something, post-traumatic stress or something. You're crying on the inside, and that's why your baby crying on the outside. Stop crying. Stop crying. They only showing you the emotions you have. That's it. They're mirrors. They come in the world as a mirror to show you who you are, so that you can help heal them through the process of who you are. They just you. They're your spirit that you lost. It's literally like that, because a part of you is inside of them. But not just part of you, part of the other person that you deal with is inside. So it's teaching you how to either connect the cords or disconnect the cords, or what you don't need or what you do need. It's literally that. So babies are mirrors. So if your child is crying a lot, that's what's going on the inside. That's why y'all panic. Oh my God, my baby won't stop crying. I'm stop crying. Why you stop crying? My baby ain't stop crying. I can't get no rest. My baby stop crying. Baby, why you over here crying? They watching you. They feeling your energy. They are at the top of the game. They are the towers. They already created a tower. They just showing you what your tower will look like. So if you brought a lot of chaos and a lot of issues, your child represent that, because guess what? They was in your womb and listening to you the whole time, because guess what? You're the book. They're reading you. They're reading you. So whatever chaos you have in your personal life is what you created them to become. Now you got to heal what you created. Dun-dun-dun-dun. That's what it is. All right, next type of child personality. If you have a child that every single time when you hurt yourself or somebody hurt, and they because deep down, that's the type of personality you have. You get high off of seeing people in pain. That's why. So when they see you hurt, they a mirror. They're watching you hurt yourself, and it's funny. They're watching other people get hurt, and it's funny, because deep down, that's how you feel. So if your child is the type that sit back and laugh every time you pretend you hit, pretend you hurt, it's because that's truly how you are with people. Deep down, you like getting off of people being in pain. Then you got the nice, soft, quiet babies and stuff like that. It's more so like you have a good heart, because they feel it. That's why they at ease. That's why they calm. That's cool. They know you go through stuff, but they know you got a good heart. That's why they able to be the way they are. You understand? Yeah, that just give you an idea. If you have a baby that is tensed up all the time, because you're tense. You understand? But they also go off the other person's emotions. So if it's not just yours, it's theirs. Because even though if the other party is not in your life or vice versa, they still can feel their energy. And sometimes you're not just healing your energy, you're healing the other parent energy too through the child. So if you have a child and you been with the person for a while, you can kind of tell who the child's becoming at the moment. But when you had a one night stands, now you get to know what the child daddy really like. Just let you know. You're the generational curse breaker in your family every time. You got to break the curses that's on their lives, which means the pain. You think about it like a turkey or a chicken. The ones that like to get those little seasoning things and you push the juices inside of it. You understand? You got to get like the butter and you got the different seasonings and all of that. And so when you eat the chicken, you get the full flavor. You got to figure out what the seasoning is that you put inside this child. And then you will know what type of flavor you really have. Do I have a child that's turning into a narcissist? Do I have a child that's turning into going to be a good person married in this world? Am I having a child that's going to complain all the time? If I have a child that's going to be mad all the time? You get the information from from the beginning stages, but you miss the messages because you're so focused on yourself that you're not realizing you're looking at yourself. How many of y'all afraid of your kids? You don't know how to talk to your kids. They're you. But the thing about it is, guess what? They're not just reading your energy. They're reading everybody's energy you have around them. Soul ties. And a lot of times they reflect that energy. So you got to pay attention to the seasonings you put around your kids. Dun, 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 dun. Because they don't know how to read. But they know how to read. How many times when your child goes to certain people, they don't like them? The spirit knows the truth. I know. Some of you don't want to hear like, oh my God, my baby don't like me. Yeah, you crazy as hell on the inside. It's like, not today. Not today. Not today. Your spirit ain't right. I don't care if you do look like you happy-go-lucky. Your spirit ain't right. Because my daddy's spirit over here is a little bit nicer. Yours over here doing something else. Now, this is the other side to the coin. What if the daddy spirit, and you can flip the roles, because sometimes the kids don't like the daddy too, but I'm going to keep it simple. What if the daddy has a demon, like it's like a mean type person and the child is attached to it, and you do have a good spirit? Now, it's a mirror. The child sees the spirit inside of it and realizes it's more attached to that mean spirit. So it's not going to like you. The child is not going to like you because you're too bright and you're showing the darkness. Yes, y'all don't want to hear it, but this is how we heal our kids. Because you got to remember, they're spirits. They have a regular spirit that is part of the new vessel. You understand, the lining. And then they also receive a spirit because we transfer through worlds. We got an old spirit that's attached. It's up to the child to heal the spirit within inside of it, but also the spirit of you as well. Yes, we have a lot of spirits attached to us, unfortunately. So the thing about it is, with the spirit inside, this is how you can get an idea what type of spirit my child holds. It's time for you to know your children and understand them. Notice what things they do, how they act, how they react to things. A lot of times you're healing not just yourself, you're healing yourself. And you could be healing another spirit inside, which could be their older selves. That's the part to it. See, a child is not just a child. Okay? A child can be, like I said, old spirit. You are healing the future self, because the past self went through a lot, so you re-healing it through the child. So they're now in a child state, but they could be grown on the inside. But they don't know they're grown on the inside, but they know something's going on. So they're healing themselves as a child. They relearning life all over again. And some babies, if you notice, they get very knowledgeable things. I saw this angel, I saw this person, or you've been wondering like how they know stuff, how they so intelligent, how this, how that, because they learned these things from past lives. Because they tapped into the spirit. They're tapped in. So they know the knowledge. Maybe not the gender of who they was, but they know the knowledge. That's why a lot of these kids are geniuses. Because they receive the knowledge from the past life, because they're tapped in. And you wonder, how my child's soulmate, like they know this and know that. Because they are communicating with the spirit inside of them. And the problem is some of y'all parents get jealous of it. But they here to help heal you at the same time as you there to help heal them. Don't hinder their growth. Take ownership of it. And what I mean ownership is ownership of yourself. If you take ownership of yourself, your spirit can communicate in ways that your reality can't connect. So say, for example, that child that sees people getting hit and laugh. This is your opportunity that the older they get, explain to them, hey, watching people get hit is not a good thing. You don't bash them, but explain to them, hey, babe, I know this make you happy and fun, but we're going to do good touches, happy hugs, happy this. Because if you keep allowing them to understand that pain is fun, meaning unless you let them know, like, hey, if you go through something, laugh it off, explain that. But if it's to the point that somebody got to get hurt or something like that, explain to them, that's not right, babe. That's not right. Never laugh at somebody's pain. But you can laugh at yourself through the pain. Explain details. That's what the older they get when they see these things, okay? Just talk. Sometimes that's the problem people have. Sometimes people are like, I don't know, baby, talk. Just talk. Just like I'm doing, just talk. Because when you do baby talk, right? You are downplaying their intelligence. Just talk. The more you talk, the more their vocabulary builds up. I'm not saying teach them like a professor, but do like a kindergarten grade in communication and just talk to them. Hey, babe, I know you may understand, you may not understand, but this is not right, that's not right. And keep talking, because this is how you build that vocabulary up and the acknowledgement of stuff. And you're going to start noticing that they're understanding way more than you figure. It's like my son. Plenty of times we have conversations. And I've done this with my other two when they was little. And I hold conversations, I'll just talk. I never did a baby talk. I never did it. I talk just like this. And they'll look at me weird. But I make sure whatever I say, I replicate, meaning actions speak louder than words. So if I'm talking it, I make sure I'm walking it. I'm never going to give my kids information on something that I can't do. Okay? Or I'm going to show them the steps and be like, hey, I ain't the best at this, but we're going to work it together. Because actions speak louder than words. You are the first honest person they're going to deal with. And if you can't be honest with them, they're not going to trust anyone else. It's going to be hard for them to trust others. They're going to assume everybody else is going to manipulate them. And then sometimes they might trust others, but then you got to be careful, because they would end up trusting people that they don't supposed to trust. So make sure you communicate, even if you don't understand. And like my son, there's times I talk to him and I say things, and I could tell he looking at me like, I don't know what you're talking about. But then the next minute, pay attention to what they do. It's like, if you can't understand what I'm saying, then how are you able to do this other stuff? It's like kids with the order they get video games. So you telling me you know how to go in this video game, create a whole character, go in the settings, change this, change that, do all of this, but you can't understand the words coming out of my mouth. Make it make sense. You understand, you just don't want to understand. There's a difference. Okay? So communicate with them. Talk to them. little by little. Because guess what? They already heard all your conversations in the womb. They already heard the conversation. So they are already built up with a certain type of intelligence. They already know. It's no different than like my kids when they was little. They had this little box. And it did like most art and stuff. But it had different instruments and stuff that you can click. And you click on it and it changed. You can create your own sound. But it was already most arts. I used to allow my kids to listen to certain music and certain things to help fix them, make sure that I can heal their brain waves before they came out. Because you got to remember, it's a spirit, it's an energy. Your energy is flowing through this child. So if you're listening to a lot of music that's low vibration, you are creating your child. It's a bun in the oven. How you cook it is how it's going to come out. Just to let you know that. How you cook it is how it's going to come out. So if you're listening to a lot of negative stuff and a lot of drama, a lot of headaches, a lot of issues, right? Now you are creating the bun that's about to pop out of the oven. And you wondering why your child acting up. You wonder why your child going through all of this stuff. You wonder why your child is giving you headaches. Because you created a headache in the first place. Don't get mad because you ain't got the medicine, because you had the medicine when it was inside of you. You had the medicine when it was inside of you. You are a healer. If you can birth a child, you can heal a child. You're the healer. But you got to heal yourself to understand how to heal the child. You're the first book it reads. So how you going to create the pages you want it to read? Don't sit back and be like, oh, I'm going to have my child listen to some, money stuff or whatever. So now you teach your child to be materialistic. Now when they over here all up in your pockets, and then you wonder why money being stolen, or why you can't make them happy because all they about money, that's what you created. That's what you created. Now I understand some situations, some people are very toxic and it's hard. You didn't know people was toxic and you in these bad situations, no different than me. But I made sure I gave my kids as much love as possible. I drained myself to provide it to my kids. I drained myself. I put all the love into my kids. I left a little bit for me to make sure that they were straight, but I made sure I put all the love in them. My first child was super quiet. My last child super quiet. Now my middle child, she was loud. She had a voice. Oh my God, I love it. But see, when like my first one, it was some ups and downs, but I was to myself, so I was able to put more energy in. My youngest, the same. My personality was basically the same. My middle child, I went through a lot. I went through a whole lot. So I was more vocal in ways. And because of that, my child became very vocal in ways. And I'm proud of her. No different than the other two. I'm proud of them. I don't know. I'll be thinking, I think my child gonna be able to sing or something. I never, she plays around. But the way her voice is, I fully believe if that ain't what she want to do. But I'm just saying, I feel like she can actually be a singer because she has that volume in her voice where she can do stuff. But like I said, my kid's artistic in ways because of it. So like my oldest, he's the gamer type. He's the one that can create like his mindset, the way he communicate words, the way he understand different things. He can put things together that people can't put together. So when I was with him, I was more in that problem solving stage. So that's why he's the way he is, quiet, but know to talk when he want to talk like that. That's how I was. I was a quiet person at that time. So I let life still go by, but I had a personality. I just didn't show everybody all the time. My daughter, I was more in that I'm not about to keep dealing with this dumb mess type personality. Like, I'm going to stand on business. I got to do something. I can't sit back and let people push me over and be hateful towards me and this and that. And I continue to listen to music and stuff like that. So my daughter with that, she's into like arts. Anything arts, like cooking arts, musical arts. Like she can play. She self-taught herself. But she what is it, 7? I think I talked about 7 instruments she know how to play. Like 2 or 3 she learned through school, like the piano, all the stuff. She self-taught herself, and she draws. Artist. Then my youngest one, he's my channeler. He's my spiritual one. He's the one that's more into the spiritual world, because I was doing a lot of soul searching throughout with him. So he's more attached to the spiritual world. The other 2 are, but they don't really acknowledge it. But him, that's my spiritual child. So he's very creative. He's very to himself. One thing about all my kids, they know how to do things on their own. They don't like to depend on other people. They don't like to depend on other people. Now my oldest, sometimes he plays like he don't know, just to see how much you know. But he knows how to do. My daughter, definitely, don't even look at her. She gonna do it herself. Don't even ask. Don't even look, like, question it. She gonna do it herself. And then my youngest, he has some moments where he tries to play like he don't know, but he knows as well. But very spiritual, tuned in. But that's because I put the energy, I created the world on how I created, like I said, I put the ingredients together on how I want my kids to be able to function in the world. I didn't teach my kids how to depend on others. I taught them how to depend on God, on the spirit, on believing. So when we went through a lot of different things, that's why they was able to do it, because I taught them while I was carrying them. I wasn't selfish. It didn't matter what the other person was doing. It didn't matter how they was treated and how they act towards me, because I made sure that I protected my foundation. Because I knew that if I can protect what I am creating, the blueprint, then they can go out and create their own blueprints. You understand? You gotta pay attention. Even when they got older, I told them, hey, this part is from me, this part is from your dad. So, in order to heal yourself, hey, you see how he act when something goes on? Do you like how he act? No. All right, how you gonna fix it? How you gonna fix that issue? When I act these ways, do you like how I act? No. How you gonna fix it? Fix it now. Heal your child self now. And then you ain't gotta heal your child self as an adult. Now you can be able to be free. I've always told my kids, either you're gonna get it on the front end or the back end. Get it on the front end. Get it on the front end. Go through the hardship and stuff at the beginning so your life can get easier. Put the weight on yourselves. I know you kids, you don't want to hear that, but have fun through it. Have fun through it. Discover the world. Understand the world. My kids, they love looking at like discovery stuff and different things. One thing about my kids, if you tell them something, and they don't understand it, they will research it. My youngest, my middle, and my oldest, they will research it. They will look it up. They ain't gonna just take your word for it. If they don't believe what you're saying is right, they gonna research it. That's how I taught my kids. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. If you feel something ain't right, do your own research. Don't just take somebody's word. I don't care if it is your friends. If they sit back and talk about somebody, you go directly to the person to make sure that if they saying this person is talking about you, go to the source and ask this person directly. Then you can figure out from there if it's real or not. Don't keep taking what everybody else tell you. Don't keep doing what everybody else tell you to do. If you want to be something in the world, everybody's saying don't do it what make you happy. Because at the end of the day, your breath is what counts, not theirs. They got to be able to breathe on their own. This is what I done as a young age. This is how I was able to help my kids to get through this process. This is how I helped them to heal different things. No different than the other day, my oldest, my 16-year-old, when I was talking to him about what's going on, I told you, he don't talk. He don't really say too much. He's in that phase with me as a mother. He's in that phase, one word. But he was able to vocalize, hey, Mom, you know I don't talk like that with you. But I see there's something going on, and this is how I feel. See, When you are able to communicate with your kids instead of playing these mind games, and you communicate, they can communicate back with you. So the same way you can accept them for who they are, they accept you for who you are and love you through the process, even if they don't understand. That's how you heal. That's how you fix a situation. So a lot of times when we sit back and have these kids, it ain't so much that it's the other people's fault or that you created this masterpiece. So how are you gonna recognize it? A picture is worth a picture is worth a thousand words. So what words do you use to create what you have? You gotta remember, you was part of this mission as well. Yeah, my light and my energy is inside you that sparked it. But you was the one that put the stuff together. I was the one that turned the oven on so you can make sure it's cooked right. That part. You needed heat. You needed warmth. Ain't no different than a chicken in the incubator. It need warmth. It need love. So guess what? When you didn't love yourself, I made sure that I loved the child for you. That part. Now, I did my part. What about you? Now you got to take the same warmth that kept that child incubated. Now when it goes out in the world, how are you going to make sure your child has the warmth it needs? Because if you don't keep the warmth on that child, mean the love in that child, don't get mad when it goes cold. Don't get mad when it get lost in the world. Don't get mad when the child don't want to deal with you, when it don't want to talk to you. Or don't get mad when you sit there and give the child up to somebody else and somebody else warm that child up. Don't get mad at it because you didn't know how to continue to enjoy the blessing that you have. But see, that's the problem. Y'all want to eat y'all kids up. Y'all want to talk down at them and all of this stuff. And you forget you was the reason why they became the way they are. You took your creation and then decided to put it on all these people's tables. And then when these people ate the child up. Now you mad on how the child was left with the child. If you allow the child energy to get put out into bad situations, you can't get mad at no one but yourself. You're the teacher. If you don't know how to distribute your energy, then how in the world are you going to be able to teach a child how to distribute its energy? See, the thing about it is this. When you put your child around people, you have to make sure that those folks know how to clean up after themselves. How many people, whenever you give them something to eat, they have you doing the dishes? You just gave them food, and now you the one got to clean up behind them. But then you got those ones that will sit back and say, hey, I'm providing some knowledge to your child. I'm being there. I'm loving your child. I can clean this up because I'm making sure that whenever this child is in my presence, I'm enjoying them. So I can make sure that they go back home clean. But y'all put them around people that have them all dirty. And then you mad when they come to the house, why you got to wash them up, why you got to redo their hair, you got to do all of these different things because you put them in those environments. And you mad that you're mad at the story that when you look at them, you are mad at the story you're reading. Well, when you throw a book around, what else you think? How many times y'all sit back and see books thrown all around? How many books in history y'all just threw around and never cared about? How many books in history y'all never cared about? But then you want someone to read yours. On that note, y'all have a blessed day.